Go! You're now tuned in to Spdway TV.
Go! What's good, YouTube? You're now tuned in to Spdway TV, and this is another episode of Kicking It with Spdway. And of course, I'm your host, Spdway. We got a special guest in the building today, man. We got one of the hottest underground chefs in Kansas City right now. Everybody know Cuzzo. Everybody know how good his food is. And this is my real cousin. For those of y'all wondering, like, nah, this really family. I call him my twin cousin. Man, we got Chef Smokey in this motherfucker, man. I appreciate you sliding, man. Welcome to the podcast, family.
I appreciate y'all for having me in here today, man.
How you feeling, man?
Oh, I can't complain. I woke up this morning.
There you go. So what we're going to do today, man, I'm going to switch it up. I know y'all used to me pulling up on people, letting them show off the kicks and stuff like that. I kind of want to be a little bit more diverse for my podcast. So, I want to kind of step out and expand a little bit. I kind of want to shed light on not only fly niggas in the city, but anybody who's really experiencing entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying? Give them an opportunity to be able to just kind of promote themselves and show how much of good stuff is going on in Kansas City. Because we got a lot of great chefs, a lot of great athletes, a lot of great hip-hop artists, fly niggas, trappers, hustlers. We got everything in Kansas City. It ain't all negative stuff. So, we're just going to dive in. Chef Smokey going to be my first person, and this mean a lot because it's the first person outside of my sneakers. So, this probably going to be one of them ones. It's going to be a classic. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to dive in, get to know Chef Smokey a little bit more, find out where his passion for food and cooking came from. And then that way y'all can also see ways to get in touch with him and y'all can try the food out for yourself because the food going to speak for itself. All right. So first and foremost, man, I want to ask you, I know where you born and raised, but for those who don't know you born and raised in Kansas City?
Yeah, I'm born and raised here. So when I grew up in the 20s and the 30s. So my mom's and them was from the 30s. Pops and them was from the 20s. I grew up on 35th in Monroe. My pops and them, they grew up on 21st, then Prospect. So you need to look for me. That's where I grew up, baby. Come on down to the hood.
So what was it like, though, as far as you coming up? Like, what was your childhood like? Did you see a lot of cooking in your household?
So with me and my mom's, not really, because a lot of people don't know this, but growing up, my mom, she went to prison. So, even when she was out, or after, she really didn't cook that much. It was my mom's mom. My grandma did all the cooking. So
okay,
in my household, we really didn't cook.
Okay, so would you say that's where you got, like, when you first really started wanting to cook was from watching Grams cook and tasting her food?
Yeah, when watching my grandma cook, hey, y'all probably ain't gonna believe this, but I used to hate going over there watching her cook all day. I thought it was stupid. I'm like, why you cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yeah.
But then when she sat me down and told me, like, baby, this is what I love to do. I don't have to do it. I choose to cook. So this is what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, the house used to smell so good, but just like it was so much work.
Yeah, most definitely. So what age would you say you was when you first started cooking yourself?
I would say 13.
13?
Yep.
Do you remember your first meal that you prepped?
My first meal that I made when I was 13 was breakfast food.
Breakfast food.
Yep.
Okay. Was it kind of like you had to cook for yourself, or was it just something you just wanted to do?
It was more I wanted to do. I wanted to see if I could make my own breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did it just start only with breakfast, or did eventually you start making actual meals for yourself?
So it started with breakfast, then it went on to full course meals, things like that. So, my first meal after that, of course, was chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Every
Okay.
time.
You know how it is. So, okay. So, when did people in your family or your friends first start finding out that you could cook?
I would say my freshman year, I was going to school in Johnson County. So, I started hanging around other kids that had more money than me, things like that. Mm-hmm. So, they used to come over my crib after school and they'd be like, man, bro, go ahead and make some food. I'm like, man, I don't want to cook.
Yeah.
They used to always tell me, but bro, your food tastes fire. You know what I'm saying? So, I just cook for fun. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yep.
That's dope. That's dope. So like, when your friends start telling you your food was good and things like that, was that when you knew like, ah, damn, I really can cook because of the feedback that you getting from your peers and shit like that?
I would say that played a big role, but I'm saying I didn't really take it serious from when I was locked up in this place called the Wildcat in Topeka. It's pretty much like a youth jail for teenagers, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I was getting in trouble. So I was staying with my grandmother at the time. She couldn't really take care of me. She was a doctor, you know what I'm saying? So she wanted me to get my shit together pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So when I was in there, you know, like, they gave me a job in the kitchen, you know what I mean? And I'll never forget, this white man came up to me and told me, he was like, he don't even like black folks, but my food is the best food he ever had.
Damn.
Yep.
So basically, bro was racist, but he wasn't racist when it came to your food, huh?
Yeah, hell no.
Man, look, we gotta make this clear. Like, and it's no disrespect to no other race, but y'all know when it comes to cooking, what race hold it down when it comes to cooking.
Oh yeah,
man.
definitely.
What do you mean by that?
Like, we gotta keep it 100. Shout out to the Hispanics though.
Man.
The Hispanics, they do their thing too, but we know when it comes to cooking, we know who run it. We know what race run it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so we're gonna go ahead and leave that at that. But that's crazy, bro. So at that point, when he tasted your food, the word started spreading throughout the joint that you was cold cook and everybody started wanting your food?
Yeah, it started spreading to the point where, you know, people used to come up to him and be like, hey, bro, do you work in the kitchen today? Can you make sure you get me right, hook me up? I get you whatever you need, you know what I'm saying? So it started to feel good because a lot of people started to know me as the guy that can cook.
Okay. That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope. That means while you was incarcerated, you used that time to find out things about yourself and you capitalized on that.
Yeah.
And me personally, I've never been to prison. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's what that experience is supposed to be for.
Right.
It's not supposed to be just for you being there serving your time or whatever, for whatever crime you did or whatever it was. While you in there, make the best out of that shit.
Right.
Find talents about yourself, develop talents to where when you got that opportunity to get your freedom back, you now found something about yourself that you can use to prevent you from going back to that position. So, bro, that's dope that you did that, because I'm proud of you for that shit. Because since you've been out, you ain't did nothing but elevate.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't watch you elevate, and I'm still watching you elevate and elevate and elevate and elevate. So, bro, this the perfect lane for you. I feel like this the perfect fit for you, bro. So, did you ever start cooking for the family and things like that?
Yeah. So, eventually, like, you know, when I finally got out and I started cooking, you know what I'm saying? I started getting these little part-time jobs as a cook. You know, I started to cook more at home, you know, so it started off with just making sure I have food for me and my kids and their mom, you know what I'm saying, things like that. Then I started doing things with my mom at barbecues and family functions like that. So back then it was still just all some fun thing or things that I could do with my family.
Okay. Got you. I got you. Okay, cool. So you mentioned one thing about like about grilling and stuff. What age did you start grilling? Because a lot of people can cook in the kitchen, but a lot of people can't grill.
I would say around 15, you know, 15. I finally felt like I was experienced enough to get on the grill, even though my very first time grilling, I did kind of fuck up because I poured too much lighter fluid of charcoal and set everything on fire. But, you know, once I figured out how to light the charcoal and get my fire going, the food turned out fire, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, like, for people that are new at beginning grilling, how do you properly light a grill? Because I ain't gonna lie, when I first grilled the first time, bro, I couldn't get the fucking lighter fluid or none of that shit to stay lit. Is it a certain way you got to do it? Is it a certain amount you pour for people who don't know how to properly light a grill?
I would say you just want to make sure that you get a little bit of lighter fluid on each charcoal, because you don't really want to put your food in there till your charcoal is white. So, you know what I'm saying? When I first did it, I kept thinking in my head, like, this shit ain't staying lit. So I kept pouring more lighter fluid. Kept pouring that shit on there to the point where I burnt my fucking charcoal, you know what I'm saying? So I had to learn, like, you know, the more you do it, that's all it takes. You just got to stay consistent with it. Practice makes perfect.
Do you feel like being a man from Kansas City that it's mandatory that you know how to grill because we known for barbecuing?
I would say that we all should at least know how to use some kind of grill. It can be a gas grill or charcoal or wood, but I think you should learn how to use some kind of grill because it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna taste better. I think, to me personally, everything tastes better on the grill, to be honest. Yeah,
it's a lot more healthier too when you grill it. Okay, most definitely. You mentioned something about having cooking jobs. How many cooking jobs have you had?
I didn't had at least over 12, you know what I'm saying? Damn. So To name a couple, I didn't work at Eddie V's, 801 Chop House. I done worked at Bristol's, Sullivan's Steakhouse. I've worked at the Cheesecake Factory. I worked at RJ's Barbecue. I worked at Jack Stack's Barbecue, Q39.
There's some big names right there, bro.
Yep.
There's some big names. So, with you having so many different cooking jobs, like, what were you able to pick up differently from each one of them?
I would say each one of them, like, a lot of people didn't know what my goal was back then. I didn't know at the time, but I knew I didn't want to work for these companies. So I was just getting ideas and learning how to run a restaurant, learning how to cook certain dishes. So I learned a lot of things from each one, but a big one I learned was from Cheesecake Factory and Jack Stack's. The Cheesecake Factory, it taught me how to plate a lot of different dishes to make them look like 5-star meals. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot about recipes and plating your dishes to look like, you know what I'm saying?
So not to cut you off, kind of explain what plating is for those who don't know the understanding of the cooking term.
Okay, so say if you go to a restaurant, a bar and grill, and you order some fried chicken and some mashed potatoes, or you know what I'm saying, it's in a biscuit or some toast.
Mm-hmm.
A bar and grill, they're gonna just, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna cook it and throw it in a basket and give it to you. You go to an upscale restaurant where you get the same exact thing, but I mean by plating, like, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna make it look like you want to eat it too. It ain't gonna
the
just
appearance.
taste good. It's all about the appearance. So,
the appearance, okay.
If you go to an upscale restaurant, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna see they're gonna add a little parsley on there, a little salt, some garlic butter around the edge of the plate. So it's gonna make you like, damn, this looks good and it tastes good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why it's a different prices at a bar and grill and an upscale restaurant. So that's where I had to learn that things work like at Eddie V's and Cheesecake Factory. That's where I learned a lot about plating.
Okay.
Jack Stacks is where I learned a lot about like being in a team, everything running as a line, you know what I'm saying, and learn how to clean. That's like my biggest thing is cleaning, you know what I'm saying. I clean as I go, you know what I'm saying. So working there, I learned a lot about how to stay clean, washing your hands, you know what I'm saying. Just pretty much you keeping your counter clean, your sink clean, pretty much like your whole body. If you're not clean, then the food's not gonna be clean at the end of the day.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Cause don't nobody want nobody who ain't clean themselves cooking their food or touching their food.
Hell nah.
Facts. Okay, that's dope. So man, you said some big names in them restaurants. That's dope. Do you still have like any relationships with any of the employees that you might have met from there?
I'm cool with some of the employees, and some of the jobs I worked there, I'm actually cool with some of the owners. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So they see where I was going and what I'm doing now. So, you know, I've actually done some events for some of the companies I used to work for. They actually booked me for events now. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
How did that make you feel working from there and now they booking you to come cook for them?
I ain't gonna lie. It makes me feel like I'm that nigga, you know what I'm saying? But I also feel appreciated because now they see that I did have some goals and things I wanted to do. So now they see that, okay, this guy didn't just quit and not do anything. So now they see what I'm trying to accomplish now. So
that's dope, bro. Dope. Bro, how did you become a chef? Well, like, what's the process for anybody up and coming who wants to become a chef? And then I also want to break down one more thing. Break down the difference between a chef and a cook.
So I'm going to start by saying, I'm going to start off with how I became a chef. So, you know, I started off as just a normal line cook, you know what I'm saying? Before that, I was a dishwasher and a server, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to learn the whole concept of running the kitchen. So, you know, what I did is I learned everything I needed to do. I upgraded to becoming a kitchen manager, you know what I'm saying? This was a bar and grill. So then I transferred from a bar and grill to an upscale restaurant. That's when you become line cook, chef, you got a sous chef, and then you got, after that's the head chef. So and that's called the executive chef. You know what I'm saying?
So it's based off of the type of establishment you work with that gives you the title.
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't actually gotta like go to school or nothing for it?
Yeah, you can go to school and get certified as a chef, but you can also go through the training classes for a restaurant.
Oh, so the restaurant can train you to be a chef. Yeah. Oh, that's dope. So you don't gotta necessarily go to culinary arts school and things like that. No. That's dope. So look, for the future chefs or anybody that's just at home that just can cook real good, now you know you can go through a company directly and you can earn that title of being a chef. Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, what's the difference between being a chef and a cook?
So I would say, from my opinion, personally, the difference between like a cook, you know, they come in, they do their job on their station. So, you know, if you're a line cook, you're going to be a fry cook, or you're going to be a salad cook, flat top cook, you know what I'm saying? So those positions, you only know that one position, you know what I'm saying? So once you learn that whole line, then you learn how to start making stuff from scratch and ingredients. That's when you actually start calling yourself a chef. You can't call yourself a chef.
So a chef is like he know how to do it all.
Yeah.
As far as a cook, you might be only assigned to cook this one specific meal or one specific dish the whole time.
Right.
Okay. Got you. Okay, great. Okay, dope. I like that. I'm happy you broke that down.
It's a big difference, and a lot of people they get them confused. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with being a lead cook and none of that, but it's a difference between being a lead cook and a regular chef.
Was it ever like your goal to actually become a chef, or was it just like you just like cooking and it just made sense for you to try out a cooking job because you knew how to cook? But did you ever have in your mind like, you know what, I'm gonna be a chef one day?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Growing up, I always wanted to be. A fun fact is I always wanted to be a firefighter. I wanted to be a firefighter. I never wanted to be a cook. You know what I'm saying? So when I came home from jail, you know what I'm saying, all these people say I can cook. You know, that's when I put it in my head like, okay, I'm gonna get a job cooking. I never thought I was gonna be a chef or Chef Smokey, any of that. I just, you know what I'm saying, it just came. It just came with the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So did somebody push it on you to like, bro, you really need to be a chef, or was it just all you? You like, you know what? I'm having traction with my cooking. I'm really good at it. I need to label myself as a chef.
Yeah. So my grandma that passed away, she put it on me. She like, oh baby, you should, you know what I'm saying, start your own business. You should start cooking things like that. She was the one that was always telling me to do this. I didn't really want to do it. She kept saying, oh, your food is good, you this and that. So you should try to do it like that.
How you think she feel now? Looking down, she proud as hell.
She's sitting there smiling. She like, oh, look at this nigga. He doing this damn thing right now. So you know, so that's why I go so hard with it right now, because it's for her. You feel me?
This is this the same grandma that was cooking for you when you was younger too?
Yep.
Okay. Dope. With you basically being an up and coming chef, how do you typically like get yourself out there to the streets to the people to know that you're a chef? Like, do you just use social media, or are you actually out here in these streets promoting yourself?
That's a good question, because I mean, for the ones that know me, they know I'm really out here in the streets with it. When I first started this whole Chef Smokey thing, I used to go to all these events I used to go hit up Marks My Barbers, L's, DJ Rocky in there. Every time they had an event, you know, I hit them up like, hey, I'm Chef Smokey. I'm bringing food. Can I bring food here to pass out to people and try it? You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually spending my own money cooking this food and going to these events and passing my food for free to the security guards, the promoters, the hosts, the DJs, things like that. So I had to put in that footwork for them to take me serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, so you was hands on with it.
Oh yeah.
Do you still do that to this day, or now you big enough to where you like, I ain't pulling up at the functions no more? You got to come to me.
Still to this day, I still do it. So that's why I gain a relationship with everybody, because no matter how big I feel I get, or how big they feel I got, I'm still doing that same thing. I'm still bringing plates up there. And yeah, some of them I'm gonna sell them, but some of them I'm still give out free, because like I say, you got security guards at the door. They can't move to go eat. So, you know, that goes a long way with feeding them, because you never know. Just because this person is working the door, you don't know who he know, or when last time they ate. You know what I mean? So,
and see, one thing I want to key in on right there that you said is the last time when they ate. That show you that you thinking not just for yourself, but you thinking about this person as a human being.
Right.
And that's something that stands out to me about you, and another reason why you're gonna go forward with it, because you really doing it to make sure people eat. You ain't doing it just for the finances. You really doing it because you want to really feed the streets and feed the people, bro. Yeah. So that's one thing that I want to key in on, bro, that I like and I respect about that. Meal preparation. How do you come up with your meals that you want to put out there to the public, that you want to sell? Do you go based off of what people suggest, or do you make your own decision as far as what you're gonna sell to the public?
So when I first started, I was doing like more of my opinion of what I felt. But I learned the hard way, like, hey, it's not about me, it's about my customer. So now I do, like, you know, I'll post, like, what this customer want, or I'll post this and be like, hey, do y'all want this or this and that? Or what do y'all want to see me make tomorrow in the kitchen? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm doing a lot of all about my customers now.
Okay. So your customers play a big part in determining what you put out.
Yeah.
So that means you listen to the feedback from your customers.
Yeah, because I ain't going to lie, because without them, it ain't gonna be no food porn or no Chef Smokey. You feel me? So
that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Speaking of that, how'd you come up with Chef Smokey as your name?
So it came up. It was funny as me hanging out with my homeboys. We growing up, we smoking weed and stuff like that. I've always been called Smoke Dog. That's all I liked to do. But I wasn't the kind of smoker that get high off weed and want to sleep and all that stuff. I got active. Like, I wanted to cook. I wanted to clean. So, you know, that's when I became Smoke Dog. So when I started the food business, You know, I'm like, dang, well, I can't be Smoke Dog no more now, but I can be Chef Smokey. You know what I'm saying? But I also put that in there because of all my food, I try to make sure everything's smoking when it comes out for the customer. So now that's why I call myself Chef Smokey.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. I like that. I ain't gonna lie, that when you think about it, that name could be versatile because you know nowadays edibles is legal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So Chef Smokey, you can infuse the food and things like that, you know, edible cookies and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you do any of that already?
Yeah, I've actually done a couple of events where I made a menu for them that's everything was THC infused. So I had THC infused burrito tacos, THC infused shrimp scampi. I had made cookies, brownies, and I actually made some wings, and I made like the buffalo sauce was infused with the THC butter. So I've done a lot of THC infused items. Yep.
That's dope. That's dope. See, that's just something that I just picked up on as far as with your name being Chef Smokey.
Yep.
How if you want to dip into that portion of it, that'll make sense. Because your name, I feel like your name is what brands you, and your name is what kind of expands your diversity.
Right.
And to show how versatile you can be all off of your name.
Yeah.
So that makes you unique, so that name is dope. A lot of people might not think about it that way, but now when they think about it and they go back and watch this, they're like, dang, I never thought about that. So that's more weapons in your arsenal with your cooking. Right. When you out here and you getting your customers and you giving them the food, how do you feel about their reactions? Like, what's the wildest reaction you got or the most memorable reaction you got from somebody after they taste your food?
That's a good question. So I got a good one for y'all. So a while ago when I had just started, I did a brunch event for some females, you know what I'm saying? It was all women and it was a lingerie brunch, you know. I remember, I'll never forget it, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like probably my second event I ever did. So I was excited and nervous, but I was feeding, it was between 12 to 15 women. And I remember making a place and I remember hearing this girl moaning. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And she was like, oh my God, this food tastes so good.
Hold on, wait a minute, let me stop it. She was moaning while she was eating your food?
I kid you not. She was moaning. She said the food tastes like porn. So that's when I came with the idea.
And you was the only dude there, and there's 15 women, and she moaning. Man, you ain't slick, Chris.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's when I came with the whole thing, food porn. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm like,
that's dope. So you came up with food porn because when she ate your food, she was moaning.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Yeah. Sir, that's tough, my nigga. That's tough.
How did that make you feel when she reacted to it like that?
At first, I was kind of like, you know, what the hell going on? Like, you know, I was a little nervous. I'm thinking something going on over there. But when I looked, it made me feel good, made me laugh. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, that's dope. Because I've never seen nobody that appreciated my food like me. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was pretty dope for me.
That's a dope. That's a dope memory. You got any more? Is that the only one?
Nah, I got a lot more. So a big one is when I was feeding the homeless with Shell. I gotta shout her out. You know, if y'all don't know her. She got a organization. It's called Show Me You Care KC. Make sure y'all support her. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Cares and her organization.
So we was going out when it was cold outside. You know, we was feeding her. And it was just crazy because she hit me with it like, hey, you want to go feed the homeless? You know, I didn't even think twice. You know what I'm saying? She didn't. We didn't get paid anything. You know what I'm saying? We spent our own money. We went out there and we was feeding the homeless. Somebody that stood out to me was this guy we fed downtown. She saw him sleep on the side of the street. We all stopped and we got him to talk to him. You know, I gave him a bowl of some of my soup I made. You know what I'm saying? And it's a grown man. I kid y'all not. He broke down in tears because he told us he didn't know where his next meal was going to come from, and he didn't know if he was going to freeze to death. So he broke down in tears and told us how he was thankful for our food and everything. And he also told me, even though he was homeless, that this was the best food he didn't have his whole life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So hearing somebody tell me that, you know what I'm saying, that made me feel some kind of way because, like I said, he was homeless. He didn't even know me, you know what I'm saying? So for him to cry from man to man to me and tell me how good my food was,
that's deep.
Yeah, that shit felt good.
That's deep, cuz though. I mean, that food hitting the soul, my boy. That's soul food. Like, it's hitting his soul, bro.
Right.
To where it brought tears out and it made him confess to how good it was, bro. Right. So, you know, that's dope. And that's just important that you give him back to the community. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You ain't forgetting where you came from, because at any moment that could be anybody. That could still be any one of us at any time. So that just makes you appreciate your talents and where you are in life to make you keep going. So that's dope.
And I wanna touch base with that. I I got like a big heart for the homeless because a lot of people don't know. Like I've been homeless, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't stayed in group homes and foster cares. I didn't slept in my homeboy's car. You know what I'm saying? All kind of things. There's a lot of things that we don't know about each other. You know what I'm saying? So when things like that come up and play, you know, I'm always gonna be down to feed the homeless because, like I said, that was me at one point in time. So you know that's just how I feel about it.
Nah, that's real shit, bro. That's real shit. That's how it should always be with anybody that got any type of successful or having any type of success with any of their talents. Man, bless those that's less fortunate than you because at any moment, the same way God gave it to you, He can take it from you. Facts. So that's dope that you stand grounded like that. Another thing I want to ask you is, I see you do a lot of events.
Yeah.
What's some of the most recent events that you've done, and how did some of those events come about for you to be able to be there to do it?
So I've done a lot of big events, like, you know, I did Sleazy Bass birthday event, you know, where I got the pleasure of feeding Sleazy. You know, I got to feed who was all there? Skilla Baby. I got to feed Rob 49, K Kemp.
You talking about when they came for the concert?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you fed all them while they was there?
I got to feed all them in the back, you know what I'm saying? So that was
dope.
A great opportunity. Once again, I got to thank Shell for that opportunity.
Shout out to Shell again.
You know, with her, another event that she put me on, you know, I got to feed the Kansas City force. So I got to feed the Kansas City Police Department in Pleasant Hill. And we got to feed 20 kids and the whole staff out there. So, you know, that it gave me a different feeling about the police officers because, you know, we're so used to us getting pulled over by the police or getting shot, things like that. So, you know, when I got to sit down and feed them and talk to them over a meal, it's like they're just like us, you know what I'm saying? So
it allows you to see it from a different perspective. Instead of you being in that cell, you on the outside of it.
Yep.
And you got to create a bond to realize like they only doing their job. That's really all it be. They really just be doing their job. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they still eat and go home to their family and kids just like us. That's dope. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that on your social media. That made me proud when I see you doing that. I mean, every time I see you do an event, it make me proud. But that was one of the ones that made me really proud. I'm like, damn, cuz it's fed the police department. You know, that's major. That's major. And then that makes you like a face that they gonna remember.
Right.
To where that might benefit you in the future. You never know. You might be hosting an event where that police officer might be security. They'll be like, man, I remember you fed the police department.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that just builds more bridges for you, bro. So that's dope. With you being a new up and coming chef throughout the Kansas City area, are you in tune with any the other local chefs here? Like, do you have any relationships with any of the other chefs?
Yeah. I definitely, and that's a good thing with us. We definitely all stay in contact. So I'm real good friends with Chef Jay. I don't know if y'all know him. He owns Sauce KC. He was also on Hell's Kitchen. That's my dog. You know,
shout out him. Yeah, I seen his Hell Kitchen episode. You know, so big
if
shout out to him.
Sauce KC, go try. You know what I'm saying? Me and him touch bases with a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? He support me. I support him. Another good chef. He's the head chef of a black-owned company called Privy. You know what I'm saying? If y'all ain't never been there.
Shout out Privy.
Yeah, Chef Hef. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out my boy Hef, the chef, man. I'm going to take the C off because, you know, he a new person now. But, man, shout out to Hef.
That's my dog.
Yeah, and Hef take good care of you, too, when you come down there, especially if you one of his. Yeah, he take good care of you. Yeah, shout out to Privy and shout out to Hef for sure.
Then, you know, I got another guy was crazy is me and him got the same name, so a lot of people don't know. You got Chef Rose, you know what I'm saying? His real name is Chris Hill. That's my name too, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got the same name. He out here doing this thing too, you know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all go support him. Then, you know, another one, Chef Roy, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chef Roy, you know what I'm saying? He doing big things. You know
he been doing this thing for a minute. Shout out, that's Leroy, right? Leroy. Yep. Yeah, shout out Chef Roy. Yeah, he been doing this thing for a minute. I heard his food fire. I ain't never had a chance to taste it, but
it's fire.
I heard this shit is good too.
Yep.
Man, shout out to all the chefs that's doing their thing in the city. So for the most part, you'll say they've been showing you love as you've been coming up?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's all love between us.
Have y'all ever sat down and thought about like possibly doing like things together? Like maybe hosting an event together or something?
We have talked about it. We haven't put anything down on paper, trying to figure it out yet, but we definitely working on something for the town. It's coming real soon.
You know what y'all should do? Kind of like how they do the taste in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
We should do a Kansas City version of that.
Yeah, it's coming.
And just have all the Kansas City chefs.
Yeah.
Y'all prepare like different entrees and everybody just come around and kind of just, bro, that'll be dope. Yeah. That'll be dope. For real, that'll be dope. You know, with you having so much success right now, what's your ultimate goals? Do you want a restaurant? Do you want a TV show?
My ultimate goal is to own multiple restaurants, and I want to also own a foundation for different spots for kids to come learn how to cook and things until they want to be on the street.
So I like that.
Yeah, that's my ultimate goal is not to just run one restaurant, it's to have a chain of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's my ultimate goal. So while I'm doing that, I can still be a private chef for like celebrities and things like that on the side. But my ultimate goal is to have multiple chain restaurants and also to have a restaurant for the kids so I can get back to my community.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's dope. Yeah, I can definitely see you doing that because I hope you really go through with that because I'm supporting that full fledged. I'm behind that for sure. Ingredients for today.
That's my Cajun lemon pepper chicken. That's
Okay.
a little bit of cilantro, some onions. That's some chili peppers and tomatoes. That's my limes.
Okay.
Got my tortilla. Got my skillet warming up so I can dip them in the butter and some little chili powder.
Okay. So these your essentials for today.
Yep, that's all we need for today.
So what's 5 cooking essentials you always gonna need anytime you prepare your meal? Whether it's a spoon, a knife, seasoning.
If you really cook, you gonna always need seasonings, cutting board, your knives, gloves, and that's pretty much it.
There you go. Okay. So what type of butter do you use? Because I know people use certain type of butters. And
so when I'm doing this, I use salted butter.
So
I use unsalted when I'm like using it for like sweets and stuff and bacon.
Okay, cool. Now, what's the reason why you decided to go with salted butter over the other butters?
I said salted because it gives a little bit more flavor.
A little flavor. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And then on top of that, it has salt in it, so it's good for the tortillas.
Okay. What type of tortillas you using?
So
Flour?
Today, I'm using white corn tortillas.
Corn tortillas. Okay. Yeah. Why'd you decide to go with the corn tortillas today?
So I use corn because for one, it's a smaller shell, but it also with the street tacos, it goes good with the street taco. Like you don't really hear a lot of people eating street tacos with a flour tortilla shell. Now you can, but
it ain't gonna hit the same.
Yeah, it ain't gonna hit the same.
They ain't gonna hit the same.
Nah.
It hit different.
Facts. What do you do other than do you do all different type of tacos? Do you do like shrimp tacos, steak tacos?
Shrimp. So my newest one I just made a couple weeks ago was the lamb chop tacos.
The lamb chop
tacos. Yeah, those
tacos
went crazy.
Yeah, don't sound crazy.
But I do a lot of shrimp tacos, chicken, steak, fried tacos, deep fried tacos, street tacos.
How do you know how much seasoning to put on the tacos?
See, my goal is to season the whole shell, so it's not a limit of too much or a little, but you want to season both sides so it can get that dark, that dark texture.
So you should season the shells. Okay. And what season did we decide to go with?
Just chili powder. That's
okay.
it.
For those of y'all don't know, who don't know what chili powder look like, man, it's the chili powder, man. All you gotta do is read. You down there, read the motherfucker that say chili powder. There you go. How long it normally take you to prepare like 4 of these tacos?
No, if the whole cook time, I'll probably say 40 minutes.
40
you
minutes.
know what I'm saying? But to cook the shells, probably like 5 to 6 minutes.
Okay. Like you said, you don't use no timer or nothing.
Nah.
You just use self-judgment.
Self-judgment. I'm here. When I cook, that's the thing about me. When I cook, I'm not gonna move away from my food. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's something quick like this. Now, if it's greens or something, then yeah, where it takes a couple hours, then yeah, I'll walk off. But when it's tacos, I'm right here with it.
Yeah, you can definitely smell the seasoning for sure.
Oh yeah, you know it's gonna go crazy, and it goes back to when I said like I smell the seasoning. If I don't smell it, then that's why I know it ain't enough on there.
You ever thought about teaching a cooking class?
Yep, that's all in the works. So with my business partner, once we get the business up and going, so the plan is after the business been open for a year, we're gonna start using our own personalized kitchen in there to help and do like a kids events thing where we're showing kids how to cook, and they're gonna be cooking classes where they're gonna have competitions against each other. They're gonna be able to learn a dish and compete with each other.
That's dope. That's dope. If it was one person you could cook food for in the world, who would it be? Dead or alive?
I want to cook food for Barack Obama.
Why
and
Barack?
I say that not because he was the first black president or all that other shit. I say it because of him accomplishing so much for being who he is and where he came from.
Barack Obama was one of them. Who's somebody else you could cook for if there was anybody in the world you could cook for?
So this for people that know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know I love Megan Thee Stallion. So I would love to cook for her and just to sit down and just have a normal conversation with her, things like that. And I want to see her face when she tries this food porn because
I want to see her
crazy.
face in general. Yeah,
You
nigga,
know what
cook for
I'm
her. Megan, come get my cousin shit. I gotta
Yeah.
talk to you. Yeah. Tell Megan pull up.
I ain't playing.
Yeah, Sersky. Okay. Now, when people eat your food, bro, what's one thing that you want them to remember and take away from your food? Not just how delicious it was. What's something you would like for them to notice about your food?
Mine, I would say it's the presentation. I want them to see how much I love to cook. Like they're gonna be like, oh, I ain't gonna never forget how Chef Smokey made my food, but it was all about the experience. I had a good time experiencing it. It don't matter if they here for 10 seconds or an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the whole experience. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me giving they food, I'm letting them try that before they leave. The first bite to the last bite. You know what I mean? So
That nigga said the experience.
yeah, that's what it is.
It sound like you gonna get more than food.
It's an experience with
The
Chef Smokey. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? They get a little
Anybody
shot.
that didn't try my food, they'll tell you it's the experience. They love the experience with it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They have a good time.
Most definitely. How important is it to you making sure that the orders get completed on time for your customers?
It's very important because if I know, so all my stuff is pre-ordered only. So if I know that they want their food ready at 3:30, I expect to have it ready by 3:30. So if I'm running late, I always let them know. I reach out to my customer like, hey, I'm gonna be 10, 15 minutes late. Is that okay? You know, things like that, because you always want to communicate with the customer. Like, you know, it's just like when you go to a restaurant. You don't want to be sitting there for an hour waiting on food. You know what I mean? If I told you I want my food ready by this time, it should have been ready. You know what I mean? So
exactly,
I always tell people the customer is always right.
Always.
At the end of the day, the customer is right.
When you open your restaurant, have you thought of a name that you would put for it? Or do you want to keep it to yourself?
I got a few names, but I came up with one of them. If y'all see this name, then y'all know who it is. One other place I want to open was going to definitely be called Miss K's.
Miss K's?
Yeah.
What's that name too?
That's my grandma name.
That's your grandma name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I say that because, you know, she was the one that always believed in me. That's where I learned how to cook from watching her growing up. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie. That's who I thought you said you would want to cook for. I ain't gonna lie. I thought you was gonna say her.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought you was gonna say Grams.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Miss K's
Miss
brunch.
K's. Okay. Do you like preparing breakfast food more or actual like lunch and dinner style food?
My favorite to prepare is brunch.
Brunch.
I say brunch because not because it's the easiest thing to make, which it is. I say brunch because it's the experience. It goes back to the experience. I love a good brunch. You know, brunch comes with mimosas, laughs, and vibes. So, you know, you want your food to be on point, fire, just like how they want the mimosas and the music slapping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So brunch is my favorite thing to do.
And I feel like you can be more creative with breakfast food too, a little bit.
Facts. Yep.
And with breakfast food, you can really dress that shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Make that shit look really, really nice. So yeah. That's dope. What kind of chicken is that you said?
This is a Cajun lemon pepper chicken, shredded chicken.
Look at that chicken.
So
man.
I let this cook for 4 hours and I shred it. So it started off as packs of chicken breast. This was a chicken breast, but I boiled it for 4 hours. Then I shredded and I seasoned it. But I seasoned it while it was boiling too for 4 hours. So that's where the taste comes from it too.
Look at that, man. I ain't gonna lie, that shit smell delicious, cuz. Ain't gonna cap.
It smell like food porn.
I see you ain't stingy with it. You get large portions of the chicken, man.
That's why the customers come back. I ain't gonna get them no little one scoop. This ain't no one scoop shop right here.
Yeah, man. You gotta keep. What's that? Some onions you putting on there right now?
Little white onions, some chili peppers with tomatoes. Then I top them off with some cilantro.
You make the cilantro yourself as well?
Yep. So I bought a whole leaf and I just cut them up.
Oh man, these look magnificent. So, question: what you think the importance of putting a lemon on a taco is?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So the lime or lemon, it gives like a extra
lime,
kick
my
to
bad.
it. You know what I'm saying? So what people normally do, they like to squirt it on top of the meat just to top it off to give it that little sour, tangy taste to it for a finisher. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like it, but most people do. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever get a street taco, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna come with some limes on there.
Most definitely, most
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Do you think that was like a Hispanic tradition, or do you think that's somebody just came up with to cook?
To me personally, I've always thought it's a more of a Spanish like tradition because if you go back, you always see them eating the limes with they're either their tequila or their tacos or however you want to go about, like any kind of Mexican dish. It always have like a lint of lime flavor or taste to
Exactly,
it.
exactly.
Yep.
So, as y'all can see, my boy went in, man.
That's
Yes,
that
sir.
Cajun lemon pepper chicken street tacos.
Street tacos. All right, man. This about to be my favorite part. You know what I'm saying? Testing it out. You know what I'm saying? Little bro gonna help me out too, man. Shit, you got one too. Why you ain't gonna try yours? Get them
Because
two
I
over
want to make sure that y'all like it. That was the whole
okay.
object. You know,
Yeah.
I'm all about pleasing my customers, my fam. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do it for. So I want y'all to tell me how I hit. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all done tried my food before.
Yeah, so you know we already know.
But these is always something different. It's always different every time.
That's awesome here.
And that's how y'all know my chicken ain't dry.
The juice fell out that motherfucker.
Perfect amount of seasoning. Salsa turns it on. The lime and cilantro gives it that perfect freshness.
10 out of 10.
Definitely 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for sure. So look, Taco Tuesdays, this the man with the plan. The chef with the menu. Tap in with Cuzzo.
Y'all heard him going crazy. Tap in. Food porn by Chef Smokey.
That's a hit.
So look, on that note, I think that's where we're gonna go ahead and end it. No, let me stop trying to eat with my mouth full of food first and foremost. Because I'm fat as hell. But, you know, Cuzzo, I appreciate you for blessing the podcast, man. Like I said, this is gonna be one of them ones, of course, because we family, and because you're the first person outside of tennis shoes and things like that. So you helping expand my variety of my podcast and my platform. So I appreciate that. Thank you for the tacos,
You know, it's all
motherfuckers
love.
and smack. You know what I'm saying, man? Y'all just make sure y'all tap in. We gotta rap. We gotta clap it up, man. We gotta clap it up one time, man. You know, I appreciate y'all for tuning in again on another episode of Kicking It with Spdway. You know, we're gonna see. We gonna I can't even talk right. I appreciate y'all for tapping in on another episode of Kicking It with Spdway, and we're gonna see y'all again. Go. One last thing. Make sure y'all follow Chef Smokey's business page so that way y'all can book him from any events and see what's on the menu up and coming. And also follow my page as well if you want to see more content and know what I got planned for the future. Go.